In 60 days, I'm gonna turn these $100 into $1 million. Everything is going to be documented on my YouTube, Instagram, Telegram. So you guys follow along on this challenge that I'm taking that nobody's ever done. And I'm currently on my second attempt. And the first attempt was last week where I was in London, where I was trading London session in real time. And guess what happened to the challenge? I blew it. But I learned two very valuable lessons in last week's challenge, and that is to not set and forget too much and not be greedy. Those lessons I'm applying to this challenge in this week so we can take this journey taking a $100 to $1 million challenge. Let's hope we don't blow this next account and we hopefully don't get a third one. So let's get started. All right, so this is week 2 of the challenge on my second account, and we're finally back home in my Miami office where this challenge just got a whole lot serious because we're back home. So we're gonna take this shit serious. I'm gonna be showing you guys the trades that I am gonna be trading this week, the trade that I already currently got, in which I got 3 phones to show you guys like the same trade on all of the phones, and then what trades I'm gonna be looking for to take on this week, because you guys saw how fast I scaled last week. And if I keep that same strategy and don't get too greedy and I learn from my lessons from last week, we can pass this challenge probably not under 60 days, probably a little bit more, but we're gonna make the attempt. So put the 3 phones to the side so you guys see all the same trades. Now let's break down the trades that I'm going to be taking this week. So as of right now, as you can tell, we are in AUD CAD, same exact trade on all the phones. So AUD CAD is bearish on the higher time frames, such as the daily and the weekly. And in the daily time frame, we've come to retest structure and structure level. So this is clearly a strong area of interest. Whenever we are under, we're selling. Whenever we're under, we're selling. Whenever we're above, we're buying. And in this case, we are under. So this is where I go down to the lower time frame, such as the 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute. And this is where I look for my entry signal. And as you guys can tell here, we had a shift of structure. Shift of structure is when the market does this. It is bullish, and the moment we shift, meaning we break under the structure point, this is where I enter the trade short, which is exactly the same exact thing that happened here. We shifted structure, but we were not at the area of interest. The area of interest is this alarm up here, it's this zone. So this exact same shift of structure happened at the area of interest. That's why it is so key to learn how to put these area of interest. So took this trade. I'm gonna even show you guys how I called it in the Telegram. Look over here in the Telegram. You guys can see the Telegram. I sent this today, July 31st. Look at the date and the time up there. So July 31st, trade looks solid. Looking for any sales right now, and that was at 9:30, so that was about an hour ago. If you see the time up there, and then this is the result of that trade as of right now. So this is the first trade for the week, and the second trade for the week is going to be Euro GBP. So we come here to Euro GBP, kind of the same thing. We're at a very strong daily area of interest. We have support, resistance, support. So whenever we're above it, we're clearly heading to the upside, and as of right now, right here, we are above it. So this is where I go down to the 4 hour and I see the accumulation happening at this area. So this is where I go down to the same thing, the lower time frames, which is the 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute. And I literally drew this line right here, and I expected for price to have a retest to then head to the upside. And I'm gonna even show you guys how I called this with my students on my Sunday call that I do every single week with them. So this is the recording from the video. You guys did the recording that I did last week, and as you guys can tell here, these are the trades that I was breaking down. And this same exact trade is AUD CAD. If you zoom in all the way up here, you see AUD CAD, which is the retest of the structure. That's exactly what happened. And then the trade after that one is going to be the Euro GBP, which is the pullback to the area of interest, then head to the upside. So this week we have an interesting week, and we are, as of right now, already up a total of about $30. So you know, it's a start. All right, so trade update right now. So here we have AUD CAD. So we're up probably earlier, I think it was like $20, I believe. So it is currently 8 p.m. of Miami time, and this is us right now in trading view. As you guys can tell, we are waiting for the break of the neckline of the head and shoulders. We have left head, right shoulder. So if we close under this line, I'm going to be waiting for a retest to then sell. That is to take our next entry. And then if not, if this trade breaks above, that means as it hits our stop loss. If you notice, I have an alarm at our stop loss and I have an alarm here to enter our next trade. And then on top of that, we have Euro GBP, which in order for me to take this trade, I was looking to enter here earlier, I would need this movement to happen. But for now, I'm only going to focus on the trade we are currently in, which is AUD CAD, which is going to be the break of that structure level. And this is how the trade is looking right now. So in the meantime, we're going to take this baby to go drift. Finally got the quick release on it, so let's see how it goes. Trade update. So this is how we're looking right now after a little bit of a drift session. So we're rejecting the area basically where we entered already. I'm still waiting for the close of that to enter the trade. So this is how the account is right now. So we're up about $23 right now. Yeah, let's go hit a little bit more drift and we keep setting and forgetting. Oh, you do that often, huh? Yeah. Bro, this ran out of gas like mid-drift. Bro,
it's drifting good?
Bro, we're about to send out of this bro. We're about to... So trade update. So this is currently right now how we're looking. So exactly how I explained, we're looking for the break of the neckline and the retest. So as you guys can see, we're having that as we speak right now. I'm gonna give it about another 15-20 minutes for me to get my entry signal at this area, because we've been waiting this whole entire time for my friend to pull up with the gas. So the trade right now is up 30. So I'm gonna enter a new trade very soon, but just set and forgetting we ran out of gas, so we can keep drifting because it's currently 11 o'clock at night, Monday night. So we got plenty of time. All right, so just got home right now, an hour and a half later. What a mission. So we don't know what's wrong with it. We barely made it home. You guys saw the clip. And we have some water in here, or oil or whatever. I'm not a mechanic, I'm just a driver. I can just whip the shit out of it, but I don't even know what engine this is. So now we gotta call the mechanic, tell him to come tomorrow and tune it. But we'll check in tomorrow in the morning to see how the trades are going. Let's go. Like I said, once again, trade update right now on AUD CAD, exactly what I explained about an hour ago. I ended up taking it, but I didn't look at it, and so then my Discord is literally blowing up from all of the students. Peep the trade, exactly what I mentioned. We're gonna get a retest of this area to enter the trade short. This is where I entered the trade, and then I put my stop loss in the exact same point where my previous trade is. Had a quick spike, and then look at this where it is now. Again, set and forget for the win once again. So we're up about right now and $90 on this trade. I'm gonna definitely keep on holding this trade, but I'm gonna keep in mind that we could have a pullback probably during London session. So let's say we have a pullback, something like this. So then we then head to the downside once again. So I'm gonna learn my lesson from last week and not get greedy. That is the key to this challenge. As of right now, exactly what I explained in the trade is exactly what happened. We took the first entry, we got multiple entries, stop loss was perfectly placed, and then I explained once we break, we enter at the retest, so then we sell. Stop loss is in the original place. Look at that, bro. So I'll update you guys tomorrow in the morning. All right, guys, so it's the next morning of this trade that we took last night. Don't have the filmer here, so I kind of have to do it on my phone. So I'm gonna flip the phone now and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I said was going to happen happened once again, and how and where the account is right now. So as you guys can see, this is an update on how the trades are going. This is live update. As you guys can tell, everything here is live. We're gonna put what time is it in Miami, and I'm gonna refresh the page. It is 7:58, and you guys see here that I am refreshing it. You go to the top right of my screen, and it is 7:58. So if you look at the trade, it is exactly what I explained. I am explaining how I was gonna enter up here, and then how I was gonna enter at the retest of this, and how I was simply gonna set and forget. Like, I am literally calling every single trade. So I was up throughout London, and I was just watching this continuing to the downside. Now I'm gonna debate whether I should close where we are and call it a trade, because this is exactly where I was last week, and I ended up holding too much, and I ended up blowing the account. So I could stay up about $458 on the account. Then I can then flip this to about 1,500 on my next couple of trades. But this is looking very solid right now. We might be having a pull to around this area right here, a pullback to here, to then head straight down to this side. But I have to ask myself, so is it worth it for it to pull back maybe even higher to then go down, or should I just lock in the profits where I'm in right now? So I'm gonna literally debate that in the next 15 minutes because I kind of like how this 30-minute candlestick closed, because if we do manage to close under this line right here, like if we manage to body close under this, then this is just going to continue taking this trade to the downside like this. So it's just a matter of time. I just gotta wait. But as far as the other trades that I was looking to take, for example, GBP CAD, remember how I drew out this little box yesterday and I explained, I'm like, okay, as soon as we break out of the box, I'm gonna be looking to take the trade long. Well, would you look at that, it happened once again. This is the trade that we took on Friday of last week, which was this trade that I then pulled out before it pulled back, and now we were back at the same area. So I'm just gonna do the same exact thing that I did here. So that is the trade that gave us the 100 in profit, and I explained it again and it happened once again. I just didn't take it because I was focused on the other trade. All right, so this is trade up there right here. So you guys can see we have 3 phones again, 451, 2, and these are the 2 trades that we just caught on the trade. So everything is live. So I'm gonna show you guys what happened after I closed the trade, which is exactly what I wanted to happen, and what I'm expected to happen for the remaining of this week. Because if it goes like this, I can flip it to probably 1,000, 1,250 by the end of this week. So let's check it. So as you guys can tell, I closed the trade right around this area right here, because I was explaining how we can have a bigger pullback to the upside to then sell, but we kept shifting to the downside. We retested this area exactly how I mentioned. I mentioned if we body close under this line right here, we'll keep heading to the downside, and that's the case. I don't jump into a trade right now because we're no longer in session. So I'm just gonna simply wait until London session tonight to take another trade. But I do expect this trade to have potentially a little pullback into around this area before actually then continuing to the downside. So this is where I'm gonna be looking for new sells on this trade. I ideally, if I were to be trading a normal account, I would still be holding these 2 trades, but obviously for the challenge purposes, I closed it earlier, not getting greedy. All right, so market update. So let me show you guys right now. I'm gonna show you guys my effects, but before that, I wanna make sure, so I show you guys that it is Tuesday, 9:34 Miami time. I'm literally like refreshing the website. You guys can see up here at the top right corner that it is, hold on one second, that it is August 9:34. So I'm gonna show you guys here on the 3 phones the account balances, and then I'm gonna show you guys the My Effects book. It doesn't get any more legit than this, so let me show you. As you can tell here, phone 1, 472. These are the trades that got us to that, and then this is just like the 3rd phone to verify, right? So now I'm gonna be showing you guys the My Effects book, which I can officially show you because I've officially closed the position. So let me show you 3 trades that we've taken right here. We've taken the AUD CAD. We've taken 2 trades, which are these exact 2 trades right here, which these were the last 2 trades we took. So you can see it right here, AUD CAD 2 trades. And then we took 1 trade on GBP CAD, and that's what gave us these profits right here. So as of right now, I know obviously it is a lot, but realistically it's not much, right? Because we just flipped it from 100 to 451. So let me show you what I'm expecting to happen for the next session. So as you guys can tell, this is an update on the trade that I took earlier this morning, and we ended up closing around this level over here. We ended up closing around this level here. Remember, we had the head and shoulders, we had the retest and the big push. I closed around here in the morning, and now what I am expecting for this price to do is still the same thing as I explained earlier, and that's have a retracement into this area, so then it has the continuation sells to the downside. So I'm expecting for this price now to have a pullback into here, and if my entry signal aligns at this area in here around this level of support to be used as resistance, then I'll enter. And then the next trade that I'm interested in is Euro GBP. Euro GBP, I'm going to be waiting for a little pullback into this area right here. If you notice, I'm just waiting for this pullback. We already predicted the push. Now I'm waiting for the pullback to then have the next push. I have my alarm set here, and I have my alarm set here. So that's basically going to let me know when price gets to those areas. That's when I apply the 7-figure strategy to see if we enter. So with that being said, I will be seeing you guys tomorrow on the next market update. See you guys tomorrow. So I mean, kind of reflecting now, 5 years ago, I would do anything to own one of these cars or to just even be inside of the car. And this is probably like my 7th, 8th supercar, and I don't even get surprised anymore. Like obviously, like it's fun to drive, it puts a smile on my face, but there's nothing exciting about it. Like I used to do anything to be in one of these cars, and now that I own them, it's not a big deal. Like I get inside of it and I don't even realize I'm in a supercar. Like I'm at a red light, I'm like, bro, why are these people looking at me? I'm like, oh shit, I'm $250,000 car. Like I completely goes over my head. And it just kind of shows you the potential that this trading industry can give you, because realistically, money's just numbers on a screen. Turn it from numbers on a screen into a car like this where you can have, and after you have fun with it so long, it just turns into your normal. And it's kind of crazy how trading has gotten me to this, because like if you would have met me 5 years ago, I would have been at Dunkin' Donuts, and now I'm in a McLaren that it's just another car to me, honestly. But another car can do this. Make sure no cops are. So we're gonna do a 40 roll, second gear, traction on. Alright guys, so it is a Wednesday morning, as you guys can see right here. This is literally the open of New York session. Let's just see what happened last night. So bear with me, I'm holding the camera. Sebas isn't here to film it, so I got the camera and I'm not doing it through the phone. I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly what I said was going to happen, and on top of that, the trade that we got in. This challenge is getting a lot more real. So let me flip the camera and get you guys there. So as you guys can see, I'm here on the website, which says what time is it in Miami? August 2nd. 8:59 in the morning. I'm like refreshing it every single time. Now we're gonna head over to TradingView, and you guys can see here in TradingView, before I actually show you the trade that we are in, let me show you guys AUD CAD. This is the trade that I was explaining yesterday. I was literally explaining to you guys how I was looking for price to pull back to this area right here in order for me to take the trade to the downside, and that is exactly what we did. Like I'm talking about to the T. But the only issue is that my alarm never activated, so I never took the trade. But it literally happened exactly how I explained. I wanted the price to come back into this area in order to sell. This is where we closed the trade yesterday, and I stuck to my plan on not being greedy and not holding all the way. And look at that. Look what happens. You know, it happens, right? One trade you hold too long and then you lose. One trade you don't hold too long and then you miss out on a lot of profit. It is what it is. It's a lesson. You live and you learn. So this trade pulled back to the area where I wanted to. Couldn't get in because it didn't get to the exact point, but prediction was perfectly on the money. The next we have Euro GBP. As you guys can tell, I'm sure you guys were yesterday on Euro GBP, how I was explaining how we were waiting for the breakout of this zone, and once we got the breakout of the zone, I was then waiting for a retracement. Literally exactly happened 8 hours ago. We were up here yesterday, and I was explaining how I was looking for the pullback to enter the trade long. And look at that, exactly what happened. And this is the trade as of right now. As you guys can tell, we are currently up about $500 on this trade. So I was trying to get in on another entry right here, but I don't have enough margin to be able to do so. But we managed to get into this entry right here where we pulled back to the area, retested the EMA, and now price is heading to the upside. Literally exactly what I said. We're gonna retest this structure, retest the EMA, and then head to the upside. And that is exactly what happened. So you guys are seeing it live. Literally every single trade that I predicted has pretty much happened to the T. And again, another lesson learned with the trade from yesterday, stick to the plan. I could have, let one of the positions run and then close the other one. This is like the hard part of trading. This is where 99% of traders fail, because it's all mindset. They don't know how to control it. And this is what I teach the Set and Forget students day after day to do. So with that being said, we'll check in the next couple of hours and we'll see where the trade is. All right, so there's a trade update right now, how we're looking. Phone 1, phone 2, and then trading the chart. Everything literally happening exactly as breaking down. I'm gonna do a time update. So the last time I updated it was 8:59. I'm gonna refresh the website now, so it's been about 32 minutes since the last time I updated. We're looking good. I'm just gonna keep my eye on the lower time frames to see if we start having some slowdown. Because the moment we start having some slowdown, I'm just gonna be smart and close the profits, because I've pretty much almost tripled the account right now. Because then we're gonna have a retracement, and then I'll be entering the next trade from here to the upside. Because my goal by the end of this week was to close like around 1,000. So I gotta be smart and not be greedy. And like I was explaining, now comes the real skill set, which is the mindset. Because right now a lot of traders, they want to close or enter new positions or do whatever. Right now, I'm just set and forgetting, waiting for the trade to just show me what it's gonna do, and then I react and adapt based off of what it does. So stay tuned to the updates. I'll update you guys in the next hour, however long when the market starts moving around. I'm gonna stay here for now. with my cap. I can't believe I would have never thought it happened. The things you do for. Let me actually show you guys an update what's happening right now with the drift car. They're taking it once again. As you guys can see here, back to the shop. So trade update again for the third time today in the morning is that just the market's moving fast, so you got to react and adapt very fast. You can't set and forget too long, or at least I don't want to, because I'm taking this challenge very serious and I don't want to have any excuses. So let me show you how the account is looking right now. So as you guys can see right here, let me just adjust the brightness. You guys can see that the trade is currently pulling back. So I am going to close the trade right now. As you can see, last time I updated was 9:31, which is about 20 minutes ago. And this is how the trade is looking right now. And I just closed it on all of the phones. Let's just open up all the phones. As you can see, that is how much profit we made today. As you can see, that was a trade that was closed today. Euro GBP. I mean, it is heading to the upside still, but I do believe it's gonna have this pull back into this level. And I'd rather just be safe than sorry. Like, we just turned it from 400 to about 1,100 in under 4 hours. So I think this is more than fine. I don't want to get greedy. And if it does have a pullback, I'll enter a new trade here to head to the upside. And if not, if this keeps going, well, I'll just simply look for another trade. So for this trade, we're going to remove this line because we already predicted this is going to happen. Literally perfectly the pullback and perfectly the push. If you notice, I closed exactly where I had the arrow, which I think gives me goosebumps of how crazy these positions are. All right, so we're back. Market update coming out. I love that I'm doing this because I'm realizing how nasty of a trader I am. Like, nobody has been able to do what I'm doing. I am calling this precisely, like, candlestick after candlestick, hour after hour. I'm just gonna let my work speak for itself. So as you guys can tell right here, let me show you guys a live market update. So I'm just gonna come up here. What time is it in Miami? This is the last time we refresh the time. I'm gonna go up here, refresh the time. So it is about an hour later, from not even like 40 minutes. And I literally said on why I wanted to close the market right up here at this level, because I expected a retracement to come back into this level. Now that we're at this level, now I'm going to be looking for new entries to take this trade long. But this is exactly what I am talking about. I have the skill set to be able to catch the move, know when to get out, and pretty much predict every single move. I should have gotten in those sells, bro. But with that being said, this is a market update as of right now where the market is. I'll update you guys in the next couple of hours if I end up getting into this trade or not. Set and forget strategy. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so market update. It is 8 o'clock tonight. So let me show you guys how the MetaTrader is right now. So as you guys can see, these are all three phones like usual. These are the trades that we closed earlier on AUD CAD, and we all have obviously the same balance, 1,173. So we flipped it from $100, and I'm gonna show you guys what I predicted this morning happened to perfection. But before that, let me show you guys my FX book. These numbers look crazy. We're up 1,000% on this account. Obviously you can see we've taken the $100 to the 1,000. You guys can see right here we have a total of 4 trades that we've taken on the account. Obviously we are at a 4 for 4. We haven't lost any trades so far. And let me currently right now, so it is currently 7:47 p.m. Miami time, and now I'm going to be showing you guys the breakdown that I did earlier this morning, how I predicted it, and what I'm looking for next to enter the trade, and on top of that, like what I predict is going to happen tomorrow with a different pair. So let me show you guys. So you guys already know 7:47 p.m. Miami time. So this is Trading View right here. You guys saw how earlier this morning I was explaining to you guys on this time frame how I didn't like how we had such a strong push, and I did strongly believe we were going to have a pullback into this level, and then in this level we were looking to go long. Well, we came back into this level, didn't give me the entry signal that I was looking for, so I stayed away, and now we are currently still in this zone right here. So it is still currently happening perfectly as I'm anticipating. I'm just waiting for my strategy align so I take the trade. So this is where I'm going to be waiting for a minor break and then a retest of this level to then take the trade to the upside. As of right now, this is all that I am looking for on Euro GBP, which is the trade that got us to this amount right now in this week. So I'm actually, according to plan, I should already stop trading this week because I basically flipped the account 2 times this week. I took it from about 150 to 1,000 this week alone. So I should stop trading into next week, but if any good trade setups present themselves, I'm gonna obviously take it. So this is what I'm looking for Euro GBP. I don't like how this daily time frame closed, because we could have a deeper pullback like this. So we're gonna keep our eye out on that. And the other market that we were looking at was GBP CAD. You guys saw how I was explaining this morning how we've entered a buy here. This is our first trade that took us up $50, and then we missed this trade, and then we're back again at this area. And I literally explained to you guys how I'm just gonna look to do the same exact thing. I looked to buy here, we caught it, and then I looked to do it here, we didn't get it, looked to do it here, and now hopefully I can enter the trade at that level. Then another follow-up from this morning is GBP CAD. You guys can tell this is the first trade that we took in the account. I explained I'm looking to break above to buy or come back into here to take the trade long, and then this is where we obviously missed our entry on this trade. It's okay. And then I explained earlier this morning that if price comes back into here, I'm just gonna look to do the same exact thing again, and that is literally buy the market again. Buy it here, we missed it, and now I'm gonna be looking for buys here, and we kind of missed it already, but it's completely fine. I'm still gonna be waiting for this move right here. Gonna wait for the price to break, retest, and then go to the upside. And then to follow up finally with AUD CAD, which this was the original trade that we took and closed a little bit early, which we closed around here. This trade has just continued to drop, man. This is just insane. And the crazy part is that I called this whole entire move, but I closed it a little bit early just due to kind of just sticking to the trading plan and not getting greedy. But this shows you the power of the set and forget strategy, because trend is your friend, and all you have to do is set and forget. So for now, we're gonna follow up with both of those trades, Euro GBP for longs tomorrow again, and potentially GBP CAD. So stay tuned to that. And actually, let's do one more update. Let's do an update on AUD CAD. I believe AUD CAD, which is the trade that we already took, I'm looking for it to have something like this, a pullback into this area right here, which is gonna retest this support. So then we continue taking the sells to the downside. So I'm gonna be waiting for this pullback to then look for any sells to continue trading with the trend. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so it is 8:45 in the next morning, and once again, yesterday's prediction happened to perfection. Let me show you guys how I got into this trade, and on top of that, how I got in a little bit late because of just the time, and the trade is still effective because of my strategy, because you're trading with the trend. Like, we are trading live right now. Let me actually just show you, right? This is the trade that we were breaking down yesterday that we are currently up $1,000. I explained this on yesterday's trade to perfection. So you guys can see that yesterday, first of all, we're up $1,000 on the trade right now. We ended up entering exactly where I was mentioning it to. This line right here, like, I'm even getting goosebumps as I'm saying this. Like, this line happened to perfection. Look how I expected. This is the line from yesterday. This line had the push, the pullback to the zone, and look where price is right now, exactly where this line is. And I predicted this yesterday, so I'm gonna delete it now because it's in front of price. But yesterday we were anticipating for price to pull back from this area here, and then this is where I explained that I didn't get my entry signal, so I didn't enter the trade. And then all of this, obviously we cannot enter the trade because we're under the zone. When we broke above the zone here, I wasn't active in front of the markets. Then we dipped under and we broke above once again. This is honestly a little bit of a late entry. I would have loved to have gotten in around here, but obviously didn't manage to get that. I got in at the at the closure of this candlestick right there on the 1 hour, which this is called a 1 hour Marubozu candlestick. But if you notice, it is the exact same thing that I did here. Candlestick rejection from EMA, my area of interest. Candlestick rejection from my EMA, and then area of interest. It's the same exact thing, and I'm predicting this time and time again. I explained to you guys yesterday, I'm gonna close this trade because I am seeing a pullback to here to then continuing going long. Close this trade perfectly, and then we waited for the pullback and now entered another trade. So as of right now, this trade is currently, just gonna refresh the time to show you guys that it is 8:47 Miami time. So I'm refreshing it multiple times so you guys see it. And this is where the trade is currently right now. I am going to wait for these next 12 minutes to then play out, because I can potentially see another push on this trade to potentially come to this take profit level. As of right now, we are up on this trade, not even a 1-to-1 risk to reward, which is not ideal at all. So this is where I want to This is a little bit glitchy. This is where I want to wait for price to come all the way up there. So as of right now, predicted the trade perfectly. And then the next trade that we have in the pipeline is GBP CAD. If you guys remember what I explained yesterday on GBP CAD, I explained that I would only look to buy if we came back into this area here. And would you look at that? We're back at this area again, but not only are we at this area, we are rejecting this area again, how we did in the previous time. So I don't know if I want to enter this trade just yet because I like this one a lot more. But in order for me to enter this trade for a buy, just how I did before, just how I predicted here, and just how I predicted here, once again, in order for me to enter this trade, I have to close this one because I don't want to have too much risk on the table. So I'll update you guys in the next 11 minutes and 25 seconds when this trade, when that candlestick closes, because that would be 9 in the morning Miami time. So New York session is what we're trading right now. And if it starts coming back too much, I'll probably have to close because I don't like how this daily candlestick is looking as of right now. So I might have to close and just whatever profits I have, just run with it. Because not gonna lie, the entry was pretty terrible. And I can see price coming back all the way into here to retest this point, and that's way too close to my entry. So I'd rather just play it safe and just get whatever profits I got. So, oh, and there's something that I just realized. Even if I would have taken this trade, and I just saw this from the message of the student, he literally said, he's like, bro, anybody could have entered the trade from the moment you said it was gonna pull back to that area, and everybody would have caught it. And I'm looking at the chart now, and it's true. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I literally would have taken this trade at this area right here, from the moment that I said it's gonna pull back, so let's say from this point right here, let's say I would have taken it, this is only a 20 pip stop loss. This is a super small stop loss. So let's say if somebody did end up taking it here, the average stop loss is usually anywhere from 15 to 20 pips for these small day trades. You would have still been inside this trade. So I just realized it now as I'm checking my free Telegram, because I sent it here as well. And in my free Telegram, I sent it yesterday at 10:37 in the morning. I literally said, hey guys, new entry is loading. After I had already predicted this one in the past, I literally predicted it here. I said pullback is going to happen. This was on, say the day somewhere up there. And then after that, the next day, predicted the pullback, got out, and then I said new entry loading. And now look at it now. Everyone should be in this trade. So we still have about 4 minutes for this trade to close. As you guys can see right there, we're building that wick, and we are currently up on this account, back up $1,000.
Bro, my neighbors probably hate me in this car, bro. This is probably one of the loudest cars. Nah, never mind. There's some loud ass cars in this neighborhood.
Get a McLaren, they said.
It would be fun, they said.
All right, so trade update, it's 9 in the morning now. The candlestick officially closed, and let me explain to you guys my thought process behind this trade right now. As you guys can see, it is currently Miami time. Let me just refresh this website. It is 9:04 in the morning. So the candlestick that I was expecting to close right here, this is how it closed. This 5-minute candlestick closed under the structure point, which I don't like this at all. But I have to take into consideration this huge 4-hour wick, and this right here, I say it's like a 65 to 70% chance it builds it, meaning that this next candlestick will fill that whole entire wick right here. But I do have to keep in mind the daily candlestick hasn't closed yet as well. If you notice, the daily candlestick had a huge wick, and then what did we do the next day? We filled it. But we are pulling up now to this resistance level right here, and we've perfectly rejected from it. The 4-hour, we've perfectly rejected from this point right here as well. There's a lot of things that factor into this trade, and the way that I'm seeing it is the trend is your friend, and I'm just gonna take it one candlestick at a time. So I'm gonna wait for this next candlestick to close in the next 9 minutes because I've been analyzing this trade for like 5 minutes to see what I do. Because truthfully, like if this trade hits my take profit, this trade would be a huge win for the account, and it kind of needs it in order to keep this challenge going. So if this trade hits this take profit right here, this would be huge. So I'm just gonna keep monitoring it one candlestick at a time, and then hopefully, if anything, if this gives me a nice entry signal, then we'll enter this trade right here. But for now, all of my focus is here. And yeah, I'll just update you guys each, I don't know, 30 minutes more or less. I'll do a quick update, and then we'll get it figured out. So I'll see you guys. Take it easy. All right, so trade out there right now. Price is pulling back. This is where a lot of traders fail because it's all a mindset game, and I'm not going to let my mindset get the best of me and make me lose this account again, because I know I can achieve this challenge. So this is currently how the account are looking. So price has pulled back where we are up 1,000, literally 100% of the account. And notice how now price has pulled back exactly how I had explained to the area of where I wanted to get out before. But I mean, it is what it is. If you notice, price is now having a pullback, but I do strongly believe we can reject this area right around here. So then we keep heading to the upside. So like I said, I'm just gonna keep watching this candlestick per candlestick to see if we end up rejecting. But as of right now, this is how we are looking, which obviously it hurts, but we have to stick to our strategy and stick to our plan. So I'm going to keep monitoring this trade, and I'll keep you guys updated. All right, so trade up there right now, man. This is going a lot more in drawdown than I expected. I'm just gonna stick to the plan, man. I'm gonna stick to setting and forgetting, bro. I just gotta do it, man. Like, obviously this hurts seeing the trade up probably like 2K almost, and then now having it back. I'm not gonna say this was a greed thing because I wasn't in my plan yet to close, so I still had a little bit more profit in me, but I could have definitely considered getting out of break even. And if I got a new entry signal, I would have gotten back in. But I was up $1,000. Now I'm down 500. So just gonna keep watching the trade, and I'll update you guys how it goes. So this is how it's looking right now, where we are still currently down 500, and this is how the trade is looking right now. So I will update you guys. All right, so desperate times call for desperate measures. So I'm here with my boy Sensei, and we had to get on a Zoom call to discuss the trade on what do I do. What do I do, bro?
Close the trade, not looking good.
No? Man, all right, I gotta do it. I'm gonna stick to the plan. I gotta do it. Sticking to the plan. All right, what is up, guys? So it is officially Friday, 9:31 in the morning, and I'm gonna show you guys not only how effective the set and forget theory is, but how powerful the set and forget strategy is, and how controlled I am of my mindset that I have built over the past 5 years in the markets, because these type of things happen time and time and time again. So let's get into it. Let me explain to you guys what happened. Before anything, let's show you guys the trade that I got back in yesterday. It's literally the same exact trade. I'll break it down right now. So we only got 2 iPhones right now. The Android is like loading, it's doing its thing. So we're basically back inside the same trade. So this is my FX book. You guys can see it is the same exact account. You guys can see right here, the loss that we had yesterday was just a minor break-even loss when price pulled back to break even. Not a big deal. It is what it is. It happens. It's the same exact trade. And let me just refresh the time here for you guys to show you guys that it is 9:30 in the morning, so you guys can see last time I did it was pretty much yesterday. Once again, I'll refresh it again. 9:32 in the morning. So let me explain to you guys what happened yesterday. So yesterday we took this trade right here, London session, had the push, and I explained that I expected the pullback for New York for then the next London session to head up. Obviously this drawdown right here got to us. It was very deep into the account, but I explained that this area of interest right here, this support and resistance, very well respected. So I anticipated for price to then reject from here and go back into profit. Price went back into profit, but right at that break even line right there. And I decided to close the trade right at break even because I didn't want to hold the trade during Asia session and Tokyo session. This is the session that there is no volume. These are the sessions where there's the most volume. If you notice, this is London session, and then this is New York session right here. London session, New York, and then Tokyo and Asia. I do not want to be involved in the market here, so I simply closed the trade. So what did I do? I revisited the market again at the same exact time as I did this time and as I did this time during London session, and I applied the same exact strategy strategy that I did here, at this same exact trade again. If you notice, I took the same trade 2 times. But even let's say if I would have held this trade right here, if I would have never closed it, it would have never hit my stop loss, because this stop loss is perfectly placed. So I didn't have to close it. I just closed it. I didn't want to deal with the emotions of being in this drawdown right here. And then I just simply entered again, and I applied the same strategy, same stop loss, same lot size. I even got a better entry than the first trade. So as of right now, we are up on the account 700 or 600, and we only have about, let me see, we only have about 7 hours left in this daily candlestick right now. So I strongly do believe that this whole entire wick is going to fill. I still do believe, and I even predicted this yesterday. I predicted that this was going to pull back into this area. I predicted that it was going to fill then the wick, and I even predicted this once again. Like guys, I've been doing if I can get like a star for how many things I predicted, that would be awesome. So this is another one, and I'm just continuing to apply the strategy and continuing to do the same exact thing. So for right now, I'm just going to wait for the next candlestick to close, and we're going to determine if we're going to hold it or if we're going to close it. So this is for Euro GBP. The next trade is GBP CAD. As you guys can tell, this is the trade that I was explaining yesterday that I wanted to go long right here, and we didn't end up doing it because we were focusing on Euro GBP, and it's the same trade. We've been following with the same 3 trades the whole entire week, and look at this now. So now it's breaking, which this is very nice because this is setting up a very nice trade for next week, where we can then have the retest of this area to then go long. And then last but not least, it is AUD CAD. So this is the trade that we had during the beginning of the week, and I explained to you guys how I was looking for a pullback to this zone right here to sell. Price pulled back to that zone but never gave me my entry signal, so I simply did not take the trade. And as of right now, we are having a very steep pullback, which I actually like to see, because that means that this bearish move is going to continue going next week. So we have a very, very interesting next week. But for right now, my only focus is figuring out when am I going to close this, because I do not want to hold this throughout the weekend. So I'll keep you guys updated on what I end up doing, but this is showing you guys how I'm just doing the same thing day over day and just sticking to my plan. So yesterday was very emotional, and I'm not going to say I'm not an emotional trader. It's just more of like the emotion of I knew what I did wrong and I just simply didn't follow it. One thing is just being emotional because you're emotional. Another thing is getting emotional because you knew you could have avoided the mistake, but you didn't because there was just pressure on you of thousands of people watching you. So I like that, because if you notice now, I'm not going to let that affect me next week. So every single thing that happens to me within the week, I use it as a lesson for the next week. The first week, lesson learned was to not set and forget too much and don't be too greedy and have a minimum of a 2.5 risk to reward. What happened this week, I applied that on the first trade, cut the wins a little bit short, but I learned from it and I applied from it. It's not like I ignored it. And now this week is don't let the pressure get to you. So I'm ready to build that up now on the 3rd week, and this is just going to get better and better, and it's going to take me to complete this challenge. So I'll update you guys in the next hour or 2, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, bro, I was so zoned out. You tripped me out. You think there's enough lights?
I think that's enough.
Is it my fault or is it their fault?
That's their fault.
Did you get that?
No, I was literally turning the camera to get it.
Just filled it up, but we just look at this guy. Is that a forgot? All right, so this is final trade update for the day. It is 11 o'clock in the morning, and let me show you guys how the trade is currently running right now. Exactly what I explained to you guys again has happened. So as of right now, you guys can see it is 11:03 in the morning, and this is the exact same trade that we have taken. So this is where we were earlier this morning right here. I was explaining to you guys how I'm going to keep holding throughout the day. I'm going to keep holding throughout the hours. Let me actually just refresh the thing is. So at 11:03 in the morning. So we have continued to hold the trade through the momentum, and now we have officially created a new higher high on the 2-hour time frame, which is exactly what I explained. This is just going to continue creating these moves to the upside. It's just going to continue the steps. Right now, we just happen to be right here up to this point of the whole entire push. We are currently right now within this push right here. We still have a lot more room to continue heading to the upside, but the market closes in about 5 hours, and I don't want to be too greedy. I don't want to be too, hold the trade too long. I'm pretty much very good in profit right now, more than I needed for the week. And most importantly, once again, exactly what I predicted is that we were going to fill this daily wick right here, exactly how I explained we were going to fill that wick. So as of right now, I'm going to close the trade where we are for a total gain of $1,600, ending off the week with a $2,700 profit, which is very solid. And this is showing you guys the life of a trader, like the type of decision making that you have to do. Like, you are one decision away from cutting the trade into a little bit of a profit, holding it for a little bit too long, taking the wrong trade. Like, you're one slip decision away from completely changing your results. So that's why it is so important to have a profitable strategy to follow, so you're in, like, you never miss every single time you do it the correct way. So as of right now, we're gonna close the trade where it is right now, and it's been a
crazy week,
but we are definitely ahead of schedule of what I originally planned to do. So next week we're looking good to probably about 5K, and most importantly, the market is setting up some very solid trade setups for next week. Some trades that can probably take this account from the ending balance all the way up to probably 10K just next week alone. So make sure you guys tune into next week, and let's close this trade right now. All right, so let's have a recap of how the week went. So we obviously started the account with $155, which is what we left off when we left London. And obviously we're back in Miami, back in my home, in my office, and I'm fully in focus. I have no distractions. And this was a very interesting week. We started off the week with AUD CAD. I was anticipating the rejection from the Head and Shoulders, as well as I was out there drifting, where the drift car ended up breaking down, where I anticipated the retest of the neckline of the Head and Shoulders, and then we had a massive move to the downside as soon as I explained it. I'm talking about minutes after. Everybody on Instagram, Telegram, Discord, everybody caught this trade because I break it down live every single day. And this is a beautiful trade because it put me up a very nice cushion in the account. It gave me a very nice cushion of $450. So I turned the $100 into $450 in 2 trades in just one move. Because like I say all the time, once you predict the movement of the market, it's just figuring out how you get in on the next trade. And then after that, we have Euro GBP. Euro GBP gave it but it played out in the good side because obviously we're trading with the trend. We're using our set and forget strategy. So we entered off the first move. I anticipated the beautiful push off of the area of interest, and then we closed due to the fact that I anticipated a pullback, got the pullback perfectly. Once the pullback happened, entered again on the trade, but this is where a mistake happened, and that was that I set and forget too long once again. But this time it wasn't. I actually fell asleep, and when I woke up, the trade had pulled back. It was in my stop loss area, but my stop loss was placed in such a perfect point that we didn't get stopped out. Price came back up, took us out of break even, and then I entered the same exact trade with the same exact entry signal during the next session, and that ended up giving us a nice push where now we have the account at $2,700. So this is a very interesting week. We've gained over 2,000% this week, and this is only the beginning of it. I am way ahead of schedule of what I anticipated to have for the account, and this is due to the fact that yes, I am trading a little bit more aggressive than I should have, but the market is giving us such great opportunities that why would I not take it? And most importantly, the strategies align with what the market is getting, and on top of that, hundreds if not thousands of traders are making money alongside with this as well. So I think this is going to be a very interesting week now coming up for part 3. So I would definitely hit that subscribe button and tune in, because I think we can probably turn next week into probably 10 to 15,000 using the same exact strategy. So that's it for everything for part 2 of the challenge. I'll see you guys next week on part 3, where I'm going to be taking 100 to a million in 60 days. That is the challenge that I'm taking on. If you want to be one of my students, if you want to be someone that follows not only the trades that I take, but trades alongside with me, I want to make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a week as a beginner Forex trader, hit the link in the description below. I have a video for you that's going to show you all the ins and outs of not only my strategy, but of my community and how you can get better. And you can generate anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a week as a beginner Forex trader. Make sure to hit the link in the description below, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week for part 3.